Giving all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and safety and much blessings to the Akim that's pushing this truth out the four corners of the earth and our truth of sincerity and in diligence. Shalom. And this is breaking news. You know, Donald Trump, okay, what he's doing is deploying military personnel, which were the National Guard, 1,000. You know, it says 800, says 1,000, around that number. Just deploying military National Guard personnel to basically, police the streets of Washington D.C. So what I'm going to do is play these two clips, and because we see what this devil is doing. This devil is creating all these legislatures and these he created all these legislatures and these decrees and policies that justifies his actions, but he masked it in the form of peace. You see, in the form of peace, and like it's beneficial, because nobody wants crime, right? Don't. But every time he really talks about crime, and damn, it be centered around Jake. Because we've been made the spectacle of the earth. We've been us as a nation. We've been made to look like, we're the worst thing on the planet Earth, man. You see, so everything he's doing, is really to come down, on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, because this is where we at. This is where we at in this thing, right? If you don't haven't noticed, all these different policies and things that are gonna happen in the earth, they all at the beginning, at the end of the year, beginning of next year, type shit that's going on, you know. Like, cause I was just looking at this little thing earlier, this little clip earlier, basically saying, in order for you, like in December, we'll see if it's true, but it's out there in December. You won't be able to Google anything unless you using your digital ID. You gotta upload your ID, some form of ID, to Google anything. I think that's how it was saying. You gotta upload your ID attached to your digital ID. So everything is leading towards that digital ID, which is going to come on the MOTB, man. Eventually, it's going to be on the MOTB, which is the radio frequency identification chip. Because, like I say, man, that this is just what's going on right now. You can see the direction that everything is going into, right? He's finna come down, and with great wrath, these concentration camps and these all these martial law. These things are about to happen. These things are really about to happen, man. So I'll play this clip here.
Serious purpose, very serious purpose. Something's out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly, like we did on the southern border. I think we need a ballroom, and that's happening. It's going to be a beautiful ballroom. Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. I lost a very good person a while ago, was shot waiting for his wife. He was in the car. They robbed his car. They shot him. They killed him like it was nothing to it. This issue directly impacts the functioning of the federal government and is a threat to America, really. It's a threat to our country. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. But you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something.
Now you gotta understand. Let's not forget that this is the same guy that's called for a day of purge, a purge day. Just well, you know, he said that'll do it some justice. I don't. I can't. I'm not. I think that's what he called it, a purge day or something like that. A violent something. I forgot what it was. I did a lesson on it, maybe a couple months ago. But this is what he said. This is the same guy that says that, right? And let me see. Let me rewind that right quick.
Store to buy a newspaper or buy something, or your house where you live. You want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to
see. He's masking.
Be allowed to do their job properly.
He's masking this whole thing in the form of safety. You know.
In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety.
In public safety, But matter of fact, let me just keep playing.
In Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. But you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now. The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth. Much higher. This is much higher. And I'm going to have to get the Republicans to vote because the Democrats are weak on crime. Totally weak on crime. They don't know why. They want to stop because they get mugged too. But we're going to change no cash bail. We're going to change the statute and get rid of some of the other things. And we'll count on the Republicans in Congress and Senate to vote. We have the majority. So,
see, like I said, he's masking this thing into, a form of peace. And, these people are beguiled, man. These people are, fucking under a spell, man. Because when you check out the typically whenever they deploy the National Guard is because of civil unrest and natural disasters or health crisis, you know what I mean? Like a scamdemic, if you will. That's not going on right now out there. Actually, I went to CNN and got this article. This was 2 hours ago. Fact check: violent crime in D.C. has fallen in 2024 and 2025 after the 2023 spike. So this dude is fucking lying. This dude is a lie, man. This is bogus. Donald Trump justifies his temporary federal takeover. Who says it's gonna be temporary? It's not like, come on, man. Like, think about it. He feels as if he's really deploying these National Guards, off his own will, a part of the agenda of the elites, you see, because he don't make no decisions on his own, So he's doing this with these false ass data right here, okay? So he says justifying his temporary federal takeover of policing the nation's capital claimed at a press conference Monday that the violent crime situation in Washington, D.C. is getting worse, not getting better. He asserted in an executive order that crime is out of control in the District of Columbia and that there is a rising violence in the capital. But the violence in the capital is actually falling. After the spike in 2023, violent crime declined in 2024 and has declined again so far in 2025. So, this is the fucking devil right here. This guy is fucking lying. And what he's doing is he's using these legislations and policies that he's passed to bring forth what? Violence, because, hey, the scripture says in Revelation the 6th chapter, he was given a sword to take peace from the earth, man. All right? So this is Daniel's the 8th chapter, verse 25. And through his policies, right, also he has caused craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart. And by peace, by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hands, man. You see? So this devil, he's taking peace, and he's taking peace from the earth, right? But through peace, he shall destroy many, man. All right? This devil is magnified in his heart because he wants to take over, like when you used to watch cartoons, the evil scientist wants to take over the world. That's Esau. Ready to fight against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. right? So look at this. I'm gonna read this. Not read. I'm gonna play this.
Breaking news, Donald Trump is about to deploy 1,000 National Guard to D.C., and this all comes after he demanded that homeless people immediately move out of Washington, D.C. On Truth Social, he said, "I'm going to make our capital safer and more beautiful than it ever was before. The homeless have to move out immediately. We will give you places to stay, but far from the capital. The criminals don't have to move out. We're going to put you in jail where you belong."
And Donald Trump considered us as the criminals, the true criminals. See, he ain't worried about homelessness people. Like, yeah, okay, well, that's small potatoes. See, but the men of the Lord, those are the criminals that he talking about. He calling us criminals. Okay, remember he said the homegrown criminals. Remember that? Remember he said that the troublemakers, right? Those that oppose against him. Yeah, he understand that you're gonna have some backlash from Christians and things of that nature. But no, them Israelites, those guys that's on the street corners preaching and teaching and let you know who Esau Edom is, and exposing this devil through the prophecies and the Bible and whatnot. Hey, those are the criminals. You don't got to move out. We're gonna put you in jail where you belong. So remember, because this devil he wants to come down with great wrath, man. He's going to. That's why he got these certain concentration camps built. Some brothers will get grabbed up, man. So I'm gonna play it.
Literally proposed moving homeless people to high quality tents on inexpensive land outside.
High quality tents is another fucking way of saying concentration camps, man. Okay? Concentration camps. Just like how today the digital way of begging is placing your Cash App on, your social media platform. Like that's just the digital way of begging. You know, who wanna talk to me? Fuck with my Cash App XYZ. Oh man, that's just another way of saying it. So this is another way of saying it, man. High quality tents.
Cities while providing access to bathrooms and medical professionals. In other words, high quality tents on inexpensive land that's outside of cities and has access to medical professionals and bathrooms. Let me be clear, this is straight out of the Nazi playbook. Homeless people were among the groups targeted by the Nazi regime and sent to concentration camps. The Nazis implemented policies against those they considered asocial or work shy, which included homeless individuals, beggars, and others who didn't fit their vision of productive society. Under Nazi ideology, homelessness was often viewed as a character flaw or moral failing rather than a social problem. And yes, they in turn were sent to concentration camps labeled as undesirable. And here's the worst part. He says, "I'm going to make our capital safer and more beautiful than it ever was before." But in order for him to do that, the homeless have to move out immediately. Basically saying that homeless people make the city less safe and ugly, which means they're lowering the value and the quality of the state. Because their playbook has always been the same. It is the dehumanization and vilification of a group of people to be able to justify why you're segregating them and expelling them from fucking society.
And like us, we're not ignorant to Satan's devices. We understand how this devil coming. His whole plan and agenda is really geared towards the men of the Lord. That's what that's what it's about, getting at the men of the Lord. This is Revelations 12 and 17. It says, "And the dragon was wroth with the woman." The dragon being, representing, that ancient Roman Empire, but Esau Edom, right? Because that dragon is attached to Esau Edom, okay? And we know America is the modern day, Rome. So the dragon being wroth with the woman went and make war with the remnant of her seed, that woman being, the nation of Israel, right? But went and make war with the remnant of her seed. So that woman, tapping into right here, the elect, the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah and Mashiach, man. Okay? Because that's what it is. He's waging war on the nation of Israel, but the Lord is only dealing with the elect, man. Those that keep the commandments and got the testimony of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. Because not all Israel is Israel. Okay? So he's gonna make war through his policies and mischief, and through his policies, right? Watch this. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 11. And this is the mind of Esau. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. So let our strength be the law of justice. And that's this devil's strength, his policies and legislations. And he put these things into play, man, right? He'll oppress you through his policies, right? Right shit, right grievous policies. All right, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. Okay, but he's deploying the National Guard, and then he say, remember, he said it in this video, and they're going to be able to do their job properly, right? Properly. What the hell does that mean? They're going to be able to do their job properly. So you got to listen to what this devil say. They're going to do their job properly. What is their job properly? To do whatever the hell they feel like they need to do. All whatever sees fit, whatever they see fit is justifiable to do in that situation. They justify it, right? Because you remember, he wants to give the police immunity. You know, how much more so the National Guard? This is Jeremiah 8, and I'll read this in the NLT. This is Jeremiah 8 and 16. It says that the snorting of the enemy's war horse can be heard all the way from the land of Dan in the north. The neighing of their stallions make the whole land tremble. They are coming to devour the land and everything in it, cities and people alike. I will send these enemy troops among you like poisonous snakes. You cannot charm. They will bite you and you will die. I, the Lord, have spoken it. So, dealing with the spirit of things, the Lord is actually allowing this devil to do these things. But he's using Esau, Edom to do it. But this is, the Lord is going to allow this devil to roll on 2/3 of our nation. Okay? So this is what it's gonna be like, man. That the Lord's gonna allow this devil to deal with you any way he want to, all right? Because you Jakes are still worried about bull crap, not worried about Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You're still caught off in your everyday life, struggling to make it. Mortgage payments, car note payments, insurance payments. You know, thinking about the next turn up or the next wave or whatever's fucking hot. The baddies, you know. These young niggas tripping out and making all these, different, trying to go viral with shit, man. That's the forefront of their minds right now. Why this devil is getting ready to show you why, the strength of the sword, man. Worried about, relationships and, why this and why that. Hey, man, the Lord is about to let this devil come down, man. And we've been saying it, right? But then, to a person that's not in the spirit, they'll like, man, they've been saying that. Cool. Right, fine. Keep that same energy, But hey, man, we are closer than what you may think. We are very close, very, very close. You see shit like he just straight up coming out here lying. Oh, the crime is just, just unbelievable. Well, the fact check says that, hey man, violent crime in DC has fallen in 2024 and 2025. So what the hell is this fucking devil talking about, man? He's talking about the agenda of the elites. That's what he's talking about, man. Because ain't no rioting going on in Washington, D.C. Ain't no civil unrest. Ain't no natural disaster. Ain't no health crisis. No, nothing going on. But he deployed the National Guard. Right, this devil, and then it's not just gonna stop there in Washington D.C. Right, it's gonna trickle its way everywhere. Remember, because this devil has an agenda. It has a digital agenda to crash the old system and bring in the new. You're gonna have uproars. You're gonna have civil unrest. You're gonna have all these. It's a different wave of life coming, man. Right. It's a different wave of life with Esau Edom being that motherfucking tyrant, with draconian laws. Okay? So, this is what's going on. So, with that, Lord willing, you are edified. Shalom.